Hey there, kiddos, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Uncle Frank, but that you are having a great day. And in today's video, I accidentally deleted this morning's upload. That's right. So just a bit of behind the scenes. I usually record here in the garage late at night, and then I take whatever I film, splice it together inside, and add it to YouTube. And I was really exhausted last night. So what I ended up doing, I guess, is instead of taking the video files off of my phone here and putting them on the computer, I just deleted them and forgot about it and went to sleep. And I woke up this morning and went about my day, and it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon before I realized, wait, I didn't have any notifications from YouTube today. Did I forget to upload? Oh no, I deleted the video. So in today's video, we are talking about the altered TCG news and the unfortunate side effect of your entire game being reliant on crowdfunding, because you live by the crowdfunding and you die by the crowdfunding. That's right. The Altered TCG has announced, the company behind it at least, has announced they are shuttering shop. They are closing down the game for now. And that is a bit unfortunate. As you guys know, my general policy on the channel here is I want as many games as possible to succeed, but an unfortunate fact of life is that not everyone can be winners, okay? Sure, it's awesome if everything works exactly as intended, but for one reason or another, not everything can be all sunshine and rainbows in paradise. And if your game is dependent on constant crowdfunding in order to keep itself going, then it doesn't really matter how good it is or how optimistic people are about it. Sooner or later, not enough money is going to be flowing in. All right. And to be fair, Altered TCG, they did have quite a successful history. Their initial Kickstarter, I think it was Kickstarter, right? Had like 7 million pledged to it, which is very impressive. Don't get me wrong, that is a lot of money. But their most recent one, the reason they're closing shop is because their most recent set crowdfunder failed to meet its goal of $2 million, which is a bit of a dip down, and the fact that it failed even that is unfortunate. So, Altered TCG, what are my thoughts on it as a game? Why do I think it failed? Why do I think it failed to meet its goals and is now closing up shop? Well, my thoughts on it are non-existent. I did not get a hold of any of the cards. For myself, I have not had a chance to play it. I have looked through some of the cards, and I have looked through some of the interesting ideas they had going on with the game itself, because Altered came about during a time, just a bit of history for this game. This game was released in a time when people were really interested in these digital assets, NFTs, cryptocurrency, etc. And Altered kind of offered an opportunity, an experiment, if you would, of blending mediums, which other card games have done that. We've talked about some here in the garage before, but Altered, I think, kind of stood out because of its crowdfunded nature. And so three things that Altered really had going for it, I think, in terms of like word of mouth advertising, you know, things that made it distinct from other card games, was one that it was entirely in-house. There was no, from what I understand at least, there was no IP, there was no Universes Beyond nonsense. It wasn't working off another brand or anything. It was all in-house, which is always, in my opinion, good. A TCG that can stand on its own rather than relying on some outside source material is always theoretically better than one that does require another existing source material, right? Two, there was this, I don't know how it functions, but there's apparently this online data archive. You can scan your cards and register what you own online, and you can have your cards tracked digitally and physically as well, natively to the game itself. I'm not entirely sure how the process worked, but the idea that the game itself, the company behind the game, gives you a way to track your cards, the stuff that you own, physically and digitally, that's pretty neat. I like that a lot. The other thing I liked, the third thing that I liked about Altered as a game that made it kind of stick out to me, that I really was interested in trying, was their print-on-demand policy. That's right. As you're aware, most card game producers, most companies that make anything that resembles a collectible, there is a lot that goes into getting it from the company to distribution to stores to you, the end consumer. And Altered offered a way to skip that entire process entirely. They offered a way to get you the cards that you owned off of a digital marketplace. And I don't know, again, I don't know how the digital marketplace worked. I've never engaged with it. So, this is as loose an understanding as possible of the concept. So just so we're clear, if I get something wrong, please don't yell at me. I'm doing my best, right? From what I understand, Altered TCG has a print-on-demand policy that allows you to buy cards off of a digital marketplace and then have the company print that card in regular or foil versions and just send it directly to you, which is theoretically really fucking awesome. You get to buy the cards you're looking for online and just have a fresh copy sent to you. That's crazy. It bypasses the entire need for marketplaces like TCG Player and eBay and the secondary market entirely. You can just buy the stuff natively from the company and they'll send you your cards. And theoretically, as long as it's packaged well and shipped properly, you'll always guarantee a near mint copy as a result, which is great for collectors, great for people who just want to have a nice collection of the cards they like. Great in theory for graders, because you're guaranteeing, or as close to guaranteeing as possible, that the card you're sending off for grading comes right from the company. Gone are the days of worrying about whether or not the near mint card you bought off of TCG Player is actually near mint. It's coming right from the printer itself to your door. That is such a revolutionary idea that I'm honestly kind of shocked that some indie TCG is the one first doing it, because honestly, that seems like the kind of thing that more TCGs should be doing. Yes, I'm aware Pokemon and Magic will sell you individual products direct from them, right? Magic has, not from the vault, what are they calling it? Secret Lair. I wanted to call Secret Lair from the vault there for a second, but I knew that wasn't right. Magic has Secret Lair. Pokemon has the Pokemon Company store, the Pokemon Center. But none of those are like individual cards. They won't print you out a fresh copy of some cards you just bought from them, right? And so in theory, that's really cool. It's really a neat idea. And I think part of the problem with their sustainability was the existence of print on demand, because yes, it's a nice concept. Yes, you can get the cards you bought right away from the company, skipping the entire need to worry about distribution, printing, presses, and all that jazz. But while I do think that's a cool idea, I do think that definitely put a financial strain on the company that kind of necessitated a constant inflow of investor and crowdfunding money. Because yes, printing a card is cheap. Absolutely, right? Printing a card is cheap. But printing potentially thousands of cards and having to rev up the printers for thousands of different kinds of cards, that adds up quick. That adds up really fast. And if there's a large enough player base and they're just printing out the cards that they own and not really engaging with any of the sealed product, if they're just buying a few singles here and there and not really buying sealed product like boxes or whatever, that leads to financial, I have Discord on, that leads to financial crushing really quick. And I think that was part of why they needed crowdfunding in the first place, just because that is, again, I don't know what the numbers are. I don't know anything about that. I'm just speculating. But that could be a serious drain on resources, having to follow through with your print-on-demand policy. Now, again, I don't know how the process works. Maybe they just have a bunch of these cards spare sitting around, and they wait for someone to order one. I don't know. But it's a really cool concept in theory, and honestly, it is a bit of a shame that it died out, because a really loud car passed by. Sorry, distractions today. In theory, that's just such a cool concept, and I'd love to see something like that from other card games, where you buy a card from Wizards of the Coast directly, and they just send it to you. And I say that as someone who buys on the secondary market. I buy and sell cards myself all the time. This is the kind of thing that would, in theory, kill secondary market sellers like me. And I still think it's a really neat idea. There's people pinging me. I still think it's a really cool idea. That's all. That's all I'm going to say. So it is unfortunate that Altered TCG is done. They are going out. The newest set failed, and as a result, the game itself is going to not be moving forward. They are closing the doors. At some point in the future, if I do end up getting a hold of altered cards themselves, I will, of course, happily give you guys my actual thoughts on the card game, its mechanics, and how I feel about the general vibe of the play. But for now, it is dead, gone, buried. A bit unfortunate, but what can you do? It's the world we live in. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share, subscribe. This time for realsies, I'm going to post this right after I finish recording. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Check out the Discord. Check out the Patreon. Ping me on Discord, I guess, because someone wants to talk to me. Yeah, that's all I got. See you guys later. Ciao.